What's up, BST? We're going to take a look at the 4-point shoulder tap crawl. The 4-point crawl and the 4-point shoulder tap crawl are pretty much the same thing. I'm adding a slightly higher degree of difficulty with this. I'll put up a video later on what the 4-point crawl looks like, but it's basically the same thing without holding a slight shoulder tap. I really want to keep this pretty simple. The number one thing I tell people is when you are crawling, especially in the 4-point, because it's a lot harder, I want you to give yourself a ceiling, meaning that the second I do this, people get tired, their core gets tired, their shoulder, we'll say the packing muscles of their shoulders get tired. Just gonna give ourselves a slightly straighter line here. How about closer to there? That's good enough. What happens is when they get tired, the butt shoots up, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So I always tell people, make sure you can see in front of you, because if you cannot look somewhere up here, chances are your butt shot up. If your butt shoots up, you can't look in front of you because you have to crane your head forward. So from here, what I'm going to do, let's just roll a clip. Let's watch it. Okay, so again, it's a crawl forward. I went backwards. I think crawling backwards is really important because it's pretty amazing how we can master going forward. I think going backward is completely different. It takes a ton of balance, a ton of rotary stability. Again, the muscles of the shoulder girdle really have to stay packed. So this is great for things like serratus activation. And again, I'll just say rotary stability, meaning just let's just say stability and be general, because you'll know it when you try it. Your body's going to want to do all kind of twisting, so it's quite a bit of packing power, just to hold yourself from kind of falling out of the movement. But from here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to step forward, and you'll notice that it's going to be contralateral. So let's say that I pick up my right leg. Well, let's see which leg I lead with here. So okay, so right arm and left leg, they're going to leave the ground together. I'm going to hold for, like 1 to 2 seconds. And then from here, I'm going to step forward. And what I'm going to do is I want my hand and my foot to land together. If they're like a millisecond away from each other, that's fine. What I don't want to see is your foot land and then your hand. They're going to be lifting together and landing together. So they lift, 1, 2, hold, and then I'm going to step forward. And I'm just going to repeat the process. You can go as slow or as fast as you want. Number one thing is just make sure that you don't start to cheat the movement and let your butt fall up. We want this to be pretty fluid, so you can see that even for me, on a few of these, you'll notice my torso kind of lifts up and down. Really, what in a perfect world, you're going to see my body. Let's get a straight line, not a giant arrow. We want to see my body floating on one line rather than sort of doing like a loop-de-loop pattern. And you'll notice that I do it a little bit, but stay below your ceiling, and as I'm traveling backwards, same thing. I'm just reversing the process. This is a very good prep movement for just about everything, especially anything involving a press. I'll just say really everything. I'll have people do a set of swings, then practice this as sort of like a reset, a neural reset in its own way. Practice this. Try to go for, maybe go 5 to 10 feet forward, 5 to 10 feet backwards. If you don't have the ability to hold a plank, this is not for you yet, because it just won't happen. You have to build the strength in the joints, the stabilizers in the joints, to actually be able to do this. So if this is something that you're doing and it just doesn't feel like it's working, this isn't for you yet. There's regressions that are going to be great for you, that are going to work you into this. But for now, this is for if you can basically hold a plank in the push-up position for a period of time, and you're able to travel that way. This is a great practice drill. So give this a try. Try to throw it in as we'll say part of your prep before workouts. You can even throw it in in a short circuit as sort of a recovery movement. But give it a try over the course of a few weeks. See if it gets easier or harder. Key is it should it should get easier, but I don't want to give anything away. Okay. Hope you had fun. Give it a shot, and let me know how it goes.